Hi, and welcome to this new feature overview for API Management 7.6.2, Global Policies for API. Global policies allow for a specific policy to be applied to all front-end API invocations. Global enforcement of policies add the ability for API administrators to configure a request and response policy that will be executed for every virtualized API method invocation. I will just quickly demonstrate how to enable global policies for API. First off, we need to ensure that you have the required policies created in Policy Studio. In this case, I have a very simplistic global response policy and a global request policy. Once you have the required policies configured, go to Server Settings, API Manager, Global Request Policies, and simply add the policy for request that you have created. And do the same for global response policies if required. After you've done so, make sure to deploy the change to the runtime. In this case, I've already done so. So we're just going to jump back to the API Manager UI. Currently, I have a PetStore v2 API virtualized. I'm going to click on PetStore v2, go to API Methods, and try one of the methods. Okay, the method has been successfully invoked for this API. If we quickly go back to Gateway Manager, in Traffic Monitor, and click on the transaction, we can see that the API broker has been invoked, followed by a custom routing policy that I've applied to my API. Let's go back into API Manager now to enable global policies. Go to Settings, API Manager Settings, scroll down, and you will see the new section called Global Policies. In this case, it's simply the matter of toggling on the option for Enable Global Policies. That then should enable the Global Request Policy dropdown and the Global Response Policy dropdown, where the list of policies that you have created and assigned via Policy Studio should now be available to choose from. I'm going to go back to my API. Just click on Apply again for the change to take effect for this flow. Go to API Methods and try the same method as before. Again, the method has been invoked successfully for this API, so we'll just go back to Gateway Manager into Traffic Monitor and look at the transaction. See it there. And now you should be able to see that we have a global request policy that's been invoked, as well as a global response policy. Just to provide more information on the order of policy invocation, as you will be able to still set up a request and response policy per API. Global request policy is first, followed by the request policy for the API specifically, and the same applies for the response policy for the API, and then the global response policy will be invoked. That concludes the short video overview for global policies for API. Thank you for watching.